Do-do-do. You know, Dawid had said that, share my screen. He said that he meditates on the Torah day and night. I discovered something, everyone, and I want to share it with you tonight. I do. Because you're my brothers and you're my sisters. And we are a family, and we're joined and we're united through our love for the Most High. It wasn't on accident that he has put us all together. He's introduced us all together. He's gathering the people that he loves. Okay, listen. I was going to share something in Leviticus in our Torah portion, which we will. But let me show you something. Okay. And it's going to be in Psalms. Psalms 119 is a tremendous writing that Dawid had put together. And, you know, recently I was trying to figure out how to understand the Torah more than what I have in the past. Okay. So my desire is to know the Torah. That's my desire. Right. So I asked the Most High, you know, I cried out to him and I was like, you know, I want to know more. There has to be something more to just reading words off the pages, and it has to be more than to just understand a language like the Hebrew language and break down its roots and those sorts of things. It literally has to be more. Okay. And there is more. And the Most High is not going to give it to us unless we're 100% serious. Okay. I'm just going to tell it way it was communicated. I want more from the Most High. But he's letting me know that I'm not going to give you any more than what you have unless you really get serious with me. The Torah is not something that's just supposed to be read and recited and for us to try to figure out, you know, from our viewpoint, right, what we should know about it. The Torah is actually, it's very secretive, it's very exclusive. And the only people that are going to find out what it says are the ones that the Most High is going to teach. I might be a teacher. I might be a Hebrew teacher. I might be a Torah teacher. I might be those things. But ultimately, you don't want to be taught by a human being about what the Torah means. What our desire is, because we're not a religion, okay? So that's why I call myself Akika. I am your brother. I'm not anything more than that, right? So what we have to do is that all of us, we're going to have to, if we really want to know what the Torah means, then we're going to have to be more serious with the Most High. We're going to have to be more committed to him. That means that if we want to go to the deeper levels, okay, because there's a deep level to this, and I'm going to show it to us tonight through Psalms 119. Dawid keeps using this language about Yah teaching him. Dawid did not know what the Torah meant until Yah taught him what the Torah meant. Okay. When Yah was giving out the Torah, the children of Israel didn't understand it. They still didn't understand it. Okay. And let me just show you that right before we get started. Let me see. I think it's in Deuteronomy 29. Yes, it is. Listen what the Most High said. Okay. And you and I are survivors from exile. Okay. These are the words of the covenant which Yahweh ordered Moshe to make with the people of Israel in the land of Moab, in addition to the covenant which he made with them in Korev, okay, Mount Sinai. Then Moshe summoned all Israel, and he said to them, you saw everything Yahweh did before your eyes in the land of Mizraim to Pharaoh and to all his servants and to all his land. The great testings which you saw with your own eyes, and the signs and those great wonders. Nevertheless, to this day, Yahweh has not given you a heart or mind to understand, eyes to see or ears to hear. Okay. So these are the people that you and I have come from. Somewhere down in the group, we had relatives that were there, and they have never fully followed after the Most High. Okay. So we're the beneficiaries of all the bad and the evil and the disrespect and all these different sorts of things that they have done. Okay. So the Most High he's provided them with the signs and the wonders, and he's been telling them what to do, but they don't fully understand. Okay. They don't understand. I mean, even Moshe said, you still don't get it. You've been living in the wilderness for over 40 years and your clothes never wore out. You were never hungry, So there's a lot of things that you and I just don't understand. Okay. So because of that, you and I have to be taught, and we have to be taught the Torah. The Torah, everyone, is Yahweh's voice. That is the Torah. The Torah is his voice. The only way that you and I are ever going to understand it is if we get closer to the Most High. If we get closer to him, then he's going to reveal the secrets about the Torah. The Jewish people over there believe that they understand, and if you read some of their commentaries, you'll start laughing because they're making stuff up. Rivka could tell you they make so much stuff up, it doesn't even make sense. You'd be reading like, this guy's a scholar. He calls himself a scholar. I knew better than.
It's really bad.
It's horrible. You'd be like, where did they come up with this? So listen, I'm going to read and we're going to talk about it. By the way, Psalms 119, every 8 verses is dealing with a letter. Okay. So verses 1 through 8, and I think I've shared this before, but just for those who don't know, the actual, let me see right here. Psalms 182 begins with the Aleph. Okay. And every first word, verses 1 through 8, it begins with an Aleph. Okay. That's what it begins with, right? I don't have it up here, but here it is happy, which is Ashrei. Here again is Ashrei. And then again, it's going to have some other Hebrew letters or words that begin with an Aleph. And it's literally telling the story. Okay. But it says, how happy are those whose way of life is blameless, who live by the Torah of Yahweh. They're going to be Ashrei. Ashrei means not just to be happy, but it means one to be straight. Okay. One whose life is straight, that's the life that's going to be blameless. And how happy are those who observe his instruction, who seek him wholeheartedly. Okay. They're going to be Ashrei too. They're going to be the ones who have decided that I'm going to follow the Most High wholeheartedly, because the goal is to get to the Most High. And the only way that we can get to him is through wholeheartedness. And that's the level of dedication that he's looking for. So we can't come, what I would say, halfway. We can't come with 75%. And the Most High, we think the Most High is going to accept it. He's not going to accept 75%. He's not going to accept 89%. He's not going to accept 99.9%. Yahweh wants 100%. And the question is whether or not you and I are willing to give it. If we don't give him 100% and we don't put all of our confidence in him, then you and I are going to be in trouble. Because it is he who has created the heavens and the earth and everything that's in them. And he's provided us with our instructions, our Torah. And so there's a reason why he wants us to observe these instructions, okay? And those who are seeking him. They do nothing wrong, but they live. They walk in his ways, okay? In his ways. So it's not like you and I could be on two different paths, on two different ways. David is telling us, he's giving us insight about how to get close to the Most High, okay? So he's saying he's not going to do anything wrong. He's going to live by his ways. You laid down your precepts for us to observe with care. And may my ways be steady in observing your laws, okay? So observation of his laws, and then I will not be put to shame, since I have fixed my sight on all of your mitzvot. I thank you with a sincere heart as I learn your righteous rulings, okay? And I will observe your laws. Don't completely abandon me. That's the first 8 verses. Of course, we know that to be blameless means to be steady, okay? So in this in particular psalm here, there's different words that are connected to other words in here. So for example, when he says blameless, right? I'm going to highlight a couple of words. He says blameless. I want you to do that. It talks about observing, okay? Observation. He talks about observation of instruction, observation in the mitzvot, observation with care, right? Which observe the precepts, observing the laws. The steadiness of this is connected to the blamelessness. He said, let my ways, let me see which words it is. Don't let my abandon me. Oh, observation of your laws again. Don't let me. Oh, here it is. May my ways be steady. Okay. If the ways are going to be steady, then the ways are going to be the ones that are, if you're steady, you're going to be blameless. Okay. He says to seek, right? I want to seek. So if I'm seeking, I'm setting my eyes. Where's it at? Here it is. I want to seek him wholeheartedly. Okay. So if you're seeking Yah wholeheartedly, then you have, when you're seeking, you're using your eyes. And when you use your eyes, you're setting your sight on something. Okay. So the wholeheartedness has to be connected to the mitzvot. Okay. So it's not like he's just randomly writing these words. They're actually connected to other words in here. Okay. The sincere heart that we've been talking about here is not only the wholeheartedness of the heart, but also too, is talking about the mind, and that mind of sincerity is one that has no hypocrisy, no deceit, no exaggeration. Okay. And I'm going to seek them, right? I'm going to seek your rulings. So he's letting us know that when you talk about seeking me, right, in anything that you do, including with my mitzvot, that's where the sincerity has to be. Okay. So it's not like this is an abstract conversation between Yah and David. David is associating all of his mind, his thoughts, his everything to the Torah of Yahweh. He's talking about the instructions of Yahweh. He's talking about the precepts of Yahweh. He's talking about his ways. He's talking about being steady in your laws. He's talking about your mitzvot. He's talking about your righteous rulings. He's talking about, again, your observation of your laws. And he's asking Yah not to abandon him. And why, after saying all these things, would he tell them or ask the Most High not to abandon him completely abandon me? It's simply because David understands that if a person doesn't seek Yah for these things, these are the things that the Most High wants us to seek him for. Okay. This should be the center of our life, because he told us through Moshe that the whole entire purpose of our life is to follow the commandments of the Most High. By him selecting us and telling us that you are my children, I'm your father and you are my children, that's different. So we don't get to be like everyone else. Well, you and I don't listen. You and I don't get a choice in choosing whether or not we're going to do this. Okay. And you say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, what I mean is this: we were designed, hear me, we are designed by the Most High and created by Him in order for this. The Torah was created for us so we can dispense it not only in our lives, but those on the planet. Okay. You and I are not normal so-called people. So when you look at our Torah portion, it talks about, the rules and the regulations for a woman who has a child. For the son, it's 7 days. It's for the daughter, it's 14 days. And she goes through a time of purification and a time of waiting. And she has to go through a holding period of 33 days. When you put that plus the 7, that's 40 days total. When you're talking about her going through a female, this totals 66 days, plus the other 14, that's 80. Okay. So you got double 40 days and then you got 80 days. That's not common for the average person on the face of the earth. They don't look at it like that. Okay. When he talks about, these skin conditions that we have, like, leprosy and things of that nature, which we're going to get in great detail on Shabbat. Those things are common, listen, among other people, but for us, it's more of a punishment. Okay. Because we're supposed to be a people that he said, I won't put any diseases on you if you follow what I'm saying. Okay. So we're different. We can't do things the way that we want to do it. So what we need is an understanding of the Torah. Okay. So David opens it up with this, what he wants, how blessed a person is. And then he says, this is what I want to do. So what he's after is, I want to be blessed. Okay. And I think it would only be fair to us if I would chop in with the Hebrew, just so I can go there and show you some different things that, because you guys are Hebrew people. So let's look at it. 119. Okay, here you go. So here's our examples, which I told you. First letter, Aleph, first verse, second, third. Okay. And it gives you insight. So every verse in the first 8 verses is going to have an Aleph that begins with, the next one is a Ta, the next one is Akalai, and then the next one is Oz, and then the next one is Odika, I will praise you, and then the next one is Eth Kukim, or Kukeka. And then, I will guard and not do you forsake me utterly forever. Okay. Verse number 9, it opens up with a question. And just like the first 8 verses, the next 8 verses are going to begin with the letter Bet. Here you go. So you have this one here, it says Bame, meaning with what shall, a young man cleanse his way. And this could also to include a female. Okay. Because a Na'ar is nothing but it's a young person, right? And a Na'ara is a female, right? It applies to her too. It's not just a masculine, okay? And it tells us how that person would be able to do that. It says by guarding Yah's word, okay? I have to guard myself in order to be cleansed by guarding your word. When we talk about someone being cleansed, is this connected to your Torah portion? Yes. Your Torah portion is about staying clean. Somebody tell me, why is the Most High asking for us to stay clean and to stay pure in that context?
Because you can't draw close to him without being clean and pure.
Thank you. So in any situation where their desire is to be close to the Most High, they have to maintain, and he knows that we're human, so he knows that there's going to be times where we're going to actually be separate from him, right? But you have to know, well, what can actually keep me away from him? What can actually keep me away from the Most High? What can actually stop me from being in his presence, right? There's several words that's being used for clean, to be clean. One is bahar, that's to be clean, using soap. And then here, this one here says to be clear or clean or pure. which tahor is another word for it, but this one is to be justified, to be blameless. And he's really talking about something not with the body only, but he's talking about the person's soul. Okay. And the way that we do this is by guarding Yahweh's words. Okay. And so we can keep that relationship. Verse number 10 says, with a whole, another starting with the bet again, with a whole, the Bakal Elibi, with my whole mind. Okay. And that call again, somebody tell me what call means. Cough and lament.
All.
The palm of the hand, right, to the staff. But it also means, my favorite word, to tame. See, because if you're not tame, then you're not ready. So there's something that you and I have to do along with the Most High, meaning the Most High would give us the words. I'll give you the words. And if you follow them, right, and you want to follow them with a tamed mind, right, then I have sought you. You have to do this too. It's not something that is just a one-way relationship. Like we were talking Christianity, he forgives you. Doesn't matter. You don't have to spend time with him. You don't have to worry about being tamed. You don't have to worry about your sin. You don't have nothing to worry about because the relationship is maintained. And he killed an innocent person to ensure that you and I would always have this relationship. And that's not true. Okay. So with this, in seeking in the Most High, there's several ways to seek the Most High too. Dorastika comes from this word darash, and darash means to seek. And so when we talk about seeking the Most High, let's get more of an understanding. He's saying, when he's talking about darash, you're seeking, you're resorting to so you can find an answer. When a person is making an inquiry, right, and you're looking to inquire, you're looking for answers. Okay. The answers that you and I have to seek are the answers to what does the Torah mean. You and I will not find out what life really is about until we understand the Torah. You won't understand what marriage is unless you understand the Torah. You won't understand what being a father is, or a mother, or a wife, or a husband, or a friend, or a companion, or a business person. Okay. Why? Because the Most High tells us, and Moshe lets us know, that there's something about you that is different than everyone else. Okay. And I think, let me see. I think it's in Devarim. Pretty sure it is. I just want to be sure. I think it's in chapter number 4. Is it number 1? Oh, it is 4. Yeah, he does tell us something. Okay, yeah, absolutely. So in Deuteronomy chapter number 4, the Most High tells us something about us, okay, as his people. Yeah. We already know about not adding and subtracting, but here it is. He says, look, verse number 5, I have taught you laws and rulings, which are kukim and mishpatim, just as Yahweh, my Elohim, ordered me, he commanded me, so that you can behave according in the land where you are going in order to take possession of it. Therefore, observe them, what? The kukim and the mishpatim, and follow them, do them, right? For then all the peoples will see you as having wisdom and understanding. And when they hear of all these laws, they will say, this great nation is surely a wise and understanding people. This right here is a watered down version of what it really does say. Okay. In Hebrew, it doesn't say that. It says that they're the only wise and understanding people. It's not just they're great, it's they're the only people who are wise. Okay, so that's different. So when we think about being an understanding and a wise people, we think, well, okay, we're just like everyone else because everyone else has wise and they have understanding people. I don't think we really understand the significance of our relationship with the Most High. The Torah is what makes us wise, it's what gives us understanding. Matter of fact, Dawid has said that I know more than all my teachers because of your Torah. I'm wiser than my enemies because of your Torah. Okay. And they asked the question, what great nation is there that has laws and rulings as just as this entire Torah, which I'm setting before you today? There's nobody. There's nobody who has this. That's why I said that we hit the lottery, because it is true. There's no one. There's not a people on the face of this earth that has what you and I have. So it can't be, listen, it can't be the same as everyone else. The wisdom and the understanding has to exceed that which is taught by the nations. You can't learn this in any university. You can't get this at the European Union. You can't get this at Wall Street. You cannot get this anywhere. And the reason why Yah has given it to us is because he loved our ancestors, but he wants a relationship with us. And his desire, as Dr. Yared has said, he wants to be close to us. He wants to draw near to us. You see? So that's what the purpose is seeking the Most High. Okay? I want to get right to it because I only have a certain amount of time where Doug really talked about this. Any questions so far? Because I want to get right to what Dawid is. He kept saying, okay, here it is. Because we don't have time to go through all of it. All right. Here you go. Perfect. All right. Let's just start in 17. 17 begins with the Gamil, the letter Gamil. Okay. And Dawid, and it opens up with this word to deal. Okay. Let's see. That's a Gimel. Okay. And a Gimel represents a camel. It means someone walking to travel. It also means to be mature. It also talks about being independent and having development. So in this in particular part of the Psalm, he says, deal generously with your servant, then I will live and observe your word. Open my eyes. Okay. I need you to open my eyes. This is a desire. Okay, so it's more of an imperative. It's a great desire. It's a great request that Dawid is asking the Most High to do. He says, so that I will see wonders from your Torah. Because that's what's in the Torah. And we haven't seen all of them. We haven't seen them. There's more to the Torah than what we were told. It's not, hey, just make sure you wear a beard and put your tzitzits on. There's more to this. And that's what we're after. Okay. He says, listen, I need you to give this to me so I can see the wonders from your Torah. Though I'm just a wanderer on earth. That's all I am. I'm just a stranger. Okay. So why I'm here, I don't want you to hide your commandments from me. Why would the Most High want to hide the commandments from him? Why would he say this? Somebody tell me. Think about, why would Dawid said, I'm a stranger, I'm just a wanderer on earth, don't hide your mitzvah from me?
Because we're not in the land, so he just don't feel like if he's not there with them, he still wants to be connected through his mitzvah.
Absolutely. Excuse me. And by the way, Dawid is also letting us know something. He's letting us know that Yah will hide commandments from people. The reason why he'll hide it from them, remember he said, I'll hide my face. Why did he hide his face from Israel?
Because
I'm done. What? Huh?
Yeah, he was upset with them.
Why?
Because of all this wrong that they had done. That's what he told them not to do. They did the opposite of what he said.
They did the opposite of what he said, and they didn't have any respect for the commandments. So why am I going to give you the commandments and you're not going to keep them? So what I'll do is I'll hide myself from them. He said, I'll hide myself from Israel. And that's what he did. And when he hides himself, he's not showing his face towards us. So therefore, he's not speaking to us with his voice. which is to open up our eyes and to talk to us and speak to us to give us understanding about what he's saying. Yahweh is the teacher of all humanity. If he's a teacher of all humanity, then why doesn't humanity know his ways? Yah says, Yah is not going to give and continue to give the Torah to people who are not going to keep it. He's not going to share the wonders. That's why David said, open my eyes. That's a request that he had. David is telling us that you should too. If we want to be close to the Most High, we have to do things. We have to meditate on the precepts. We have to keep my eyes on your ways. We have to find delight in your regulations. Do you hear what he just keeps talking about? He keeps talking about these same things. So when I was like, yeah, I want to know more. Yah says, do you say you want to know more, right? You say you want to be taught. You say you want to know the secrets. You say you want to know the wonders. Then you have to do what David did. David rejoiced in the way of Yah's instructions more than any kind of wealth. He made up his mind. I'm not interested in silver and gold. I'm not interested in the big house. I'm not interested in that. I'm not meditating on YouTube. I'm meditating on your precepts. I'm finding my satisfaction and my delight in what your regulations say, which is your mishpatim. Therefore, I will not forget your word. And that's why I'm asking you to deal generously with me, your servant. Then I will live and observe your word, because that's the only thing I'm interested in, because it's more to me than any kind of wealth. I want you to open my eyes so that I will see the wonders from your Torah. Though I'm just a wanderer on the earth, he's talking to Yah. Don't hide your commandments from me. I know that I'm just passing through, but why I'm here, I want to know. I'm continually consumed with longing for your rulings. That's what something that needs to be within us. We need to be consumed. This is what made David so special to the Most High, everyone. And Yah's letting me know, like, listen, you guys say that you want to be with me, right? You saying that you want to know me, you want to know what this means. You got to, if you want to know the wonders of the Torah, you're going to have to do the things that David is asking for and telling you that what he is doing things. But even though he's doing these things, even though he's meditating, even though he's finding delight, even though he's doing all these sorts of things, you're going to find out that he's missing something. Okay. He said, you rebuke the proud, the curse who stray from your commandments, from your mitzvah. That's why I don't want you to hide them from me, because I don't want to be rebuked and I don't want to be cursed. Because if I move away from your commandments, I'm cursed. Remove scorn and contempt from me, because I observe your instruction. Even when princes sit and plot against me, your servant meditates on your laws. That's how connected he is to the Most High. And he says, also, your instructions are my delight. They are my counselors. Okay, listen to this. I lie prostrate in the dust, revive me in keeping with your word. I told you of my ways. You answer me. Listen to this. Teach me your laws. This is what David was after. He wasn't asking for someone else to teach him. He was asking the Most High to teach him. So make me understand, okay? Make me understand your precepts. That's what I want to understand, because I don't understand them. I don't understand them. I want to know them, but I don't know them. I don't fully understand. I'm doing what I can, but I just don't know them the way that I should and the way that I want to. I know there's more. And I will meditate on your wonders. What? If you make me understand. I'm melting away from anxiety and grief and renew my strength in keeping with your word. He keeps talking about what Yah is doing. He says, keep deceitful ways far from me and favor me with your Torah. I choose the way of trust. Set your rulings before me. because that's what the rulings are. The rulings is to establish a relationship of trust between the Most High and us. Okay. Therefore, I cling to your instruction, Yahweh. Don't let me be put to shame. You notice he keeps talking over and over and over again about the Torah. He's talking about the rulings. He's talking about the instructions. He's talking about I run the way of your commandments, your mitzvot. Broaden my understanding. Open me up. I need you to teach me. This right here is the hey. Okay. So every word inside of this from 33 all the way to 41 is going to use the letter hey. But what's interesting is if I'm not mistaken, every single one of those words that begin with a hey, if you've been in my Hebrew class, what verb form starts with a hey? What verb? Is it a simple? Is it a forceful? Or is it a causative? Hifel.
Causative.
It's causative. Someone causing someone or something else to do something. Okay. Dawid is saying, listen, if Dawid was teaching himself, it would be a hith pael, something that you do on yourself. It's reflexive. I'm doing the action on myself. This is not a hith pael. This is a hith fail. So Yahweh is the one who's causing Dawid to learn. The Horeini right here is the pointing of Yahweh's finger in Yahweh's ways of the kukeka. I want to know the way of your kukeka. There is a way that seems right unto a man, as Shlomo said, but those ways are the ways of death. Yahweh's way is a way of life. And I will etz rana, okay, rena. I will etz serena. I will guard it all the way into the cave, until the end. Remember, we had the word cave means because. Oh, come on, pen. Internet, don't let me down. Because, and also in the end of what? The heel, because that's what cave means. You put the yod right there is Yaakov, okay? The heel, right? The end, because the heel of something at the end. So the goal is, right? If he's, and it's an imperative, it's a strong request to Yahweh. So Yahweh's the one who's causing this. So Dr. Yared has said earlier, I said, what type of person is going into the land? He said someone like Caleb. Because Caleb was wholehearted. So here's the deal. Dawid said he was wholehearted. Everyone who wants to go to the Most High has to be wholehearted. They have to be their whole mind, 100%. They got to be ready for service. If we do our part of being 100% with the Most High, and he sees that you and I are 100% with him, then he says, then you can make your request. Listen carefully. You can make your request at this moment for Yah to teach you. I'm your teacher. I've been a teacher. I've been your brother, but let me tell you something. I want to know what Dawid knew. I don't want to know the Torah just from the pages that I read on Bible Hub or out of a book that somebody wrote. I want to know the deeper things of the Most High. I want to know the things that he reveals to us so we can keep the Torah. I want wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. I want Yah to teach me, and I want him to teach us. Okay? Look at the next verse. It says, give me understanding, right? That's a nice little translation, but is it telling us everything about it, how it's being spoken? No, it's a hithpael. That means you're asking Yah to cause you to be of an understanding mind. Cause me to have understanding. So that's why he's saying give me, but cause me. See? Cause me. See, here's the thing. When we read and it says give me, we're thinking that we can go in this with just asking and there's no prerequisite. That's how foolish we've been taught. Is that we think that we could just ask for it and it's going to be given to us. Sister Pam, Koti.
Oh, I was just saying, Dawid wanted to know, he really had it was his heart's desire to know all that Yah would let him know. He had that desire that was just deep within. And I was thinking that that was why he was called a man after Yahweh's own heart.
Which we know that Yah says that a heart is his mind. And so if Dawid was after Yah, he was after having the type of mind. And mind is your thought.
Right.
David wanted to think the thoughts like Yah. That's what Yah's saying. And so he's saying, cause me to have understanding. If I have a desire and I want to be what you want me to be, and I did everything I'm supposed to do up until this point, I'm qualified to ask now for what I'm asking for. My question is like when Yared was growing up, him and your other son, did you just give them everything they asked for when they asked for it?
No.
Or was there some type of what you were looking for first?
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
But you give them the world. But as a parent, as the mother, and you love them, and as their father loved them, there were certain things that they had to perform and to do and to prepare in order to receive.
Correct.
See? So with that understanding, when we say give me understanding, Dawid is not asking. There's no word in here for give. That should be used with cause me to be understanding. That's what I'm asking for.
Mm-hmm.
That's a request. Okay, I want you to cause this because I know that what I know is not what you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so even the world that you and I live in and you and I see and we breathe and move around in, they receive the instructions from the Most High. And for you and I to have access to that, it's a beautiful thing. Listen what he says. After he requests for Yah to cause this to happen, he says, and I will. It says shall, but it's will. I will guard your Torah. So Yah's letting us know that the only way that you can guard what I said, because remember, that's the agreement. The agreement is Shemoah, right? Meaning to listen and obey. And the other one is Shamar. And Shamar means to guard. Those are the stipulations for us to be in a covenant relationship with the Most High. We said that we would listen and obey and guard what he says. Now, Dawid is understanding like, okay, if this is what you're asking me to do and I agree to it, step number one is I got to be serious about you. Then once I get serious about you, then I'll make my request for you to cause me to be able to do this. Once you cause me to be understanding, then I'll know how to guard your Torah. That's what the Most High is bringing us to this next level. If you notice, he's been working with us about our minds, which is our hearts, and letting us know, okay, you got to be wholehearted with me. You have to be tamed. You have to let it, you can't hide stuff from me. It's just what it is. And then once you get to this point where you really desire me, then I'm going to put you in a position where you can start asking me. Israel did not know the Most High. He said that he still didn't give you an understanding heart. He still didn't give it to you because why? Because they didn't love Yah. They didn't love him. Remember, Shema Yisrael, Yahweh Eloheinu. That's Yahweh is our Elohim. Yahweh Akkad, Yah is one. Wa Ahavta. That means, and to love Yahweh, what? Is it Bikol Levavika? Uva Kol.
With all your heart.
Okay? Uvekol, uvekol, with all, that's attained, all of your heart. That is all your mind. That's what he's after. He's after the love. God's not in a relationship with us for any other reason. The main thing for Yah is that he loves us. And he loved our father, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, and he loved their families. That's why you and I are able to call upon his name. So when we ask Yah to cause something, because we don't know him, and he wants us to know him, but the only way we can do that is he has to cause us to do it, like he caused Abraham. Last one. That's caused me to ha-dorekeni, cause me to walk in the path of your commandments. Okay, so now we find out that the commandments is literally a pathway that one must travel. So if you're keeping Yah's commandments and he's causing you to walk in them, if you're on a path and you're traveling, you're going to a destination. In closing, what destination are we on? And where are we headed?
To the promised land.
You got that right. I ain't talking about Martin Luther King. I'm talking about we are headed to the ancestral land that Yah promised to our ancestors. That's why he brought us out of Egypt. That's why he's allowed us to be scattered to the four corners of the earth in order to bring us back home. And the people that he's going to find out whether or not they're serious with him. He shared with me, you want to know me? Yeah, I want to know you. Then you better get in the tabernacle like Yehoshua. He stayed in there. That's where you better be. See, I'm your Elohim, but I'm not just handing out stuff. Here you go. Here, I like you better than this one because you keep the Sabbath. No. You want to know me? You want to be intimate with me? You want this closeness with me? Like Moshe said, I want to know you, teach me your ways. Show me your glory. He said, no, you can't see my face. You can't see me. He wanted to know his way. Teach me your ways. He wanted to know. He was serious. So if you and I are going to be with the Most High, he's saying you have to be serious with me. If you and I want to go home, we're going to have to be serious. Listen, I'm telling you today, not everybody's going in that land. If they're not like Caleb, they're not going in. He didn't even put it like be like Yahushua, Yahshua. He didn't say be like him. He said Caleb. Be like Caleb. Follow after Yah wholeheartedly. Don't make any excuses and give Yah your time. I'm a time waster. I am sometimes, but Yah got on me. He's like, hey, yeah, you study, you read, you put presentations together, but I monitor you. I see your ways. You want more from me, but what are you willing to give? Are you willing to spend time? Because this ain't free. I'm not just handing this out because you're Israel. So I'm just going to hand it to you. I'm not doing that. I've never done that. Everybody that has to be close to the Most High has to put their time, and they have to show the Most High that they're serious. If you look at the kings of Israel, the ones who went in with a made up mind of tearing down all these idols, those are the ones that God, he saw that was good. He said that they were doing everything according to Yahweh's perspective that was good. The ones who didn't do what he said from Yahweh's perspective, what they were doing were evil. We're going to find in our Torah portion, and probably on the Shabbat, when the Most High is saying, okay, there's some things that you guys have in you that you don't know about, that I know about. I know what's up. I know what's going on with you. I already know what's in you. I know stuff about you you don't even know. He knows everything. There's nothing you and I can hide from him. You understand? And even when we're unaware of it, doesn't mean that that it's not there. It exists. And that's the scary thing. That's the scary part. But I ain't gonna hold you up. All praise be to the living Elohim. I just wanted to share that with you tonight to let you know that if we're going to be with the Most High, we got to be real serious with him if we want to know more about the Torah. Okay. If you want to go home, you want to go to the land, it's not a freebie. No, Yah sent us in exile because our ancestors refused to do what he said, and they were playing games. They got out to the wilderness. Yeah, we'll do everything you said. They said it 4 times. And did they do it? No. So I don't think he's going to go for this. I don't think he's going for, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. He's not going for that anymore. Now he's saying who's who. Before I took you out of Egypt, and I was going to kill everybody there, but my reputation stopped me from doing it. Then I brought you out of the wilderness. I was going to kill everybody there, but my reputation stopped me from doing it. Then I sent you to nations all over the place. Now I'm going to see. I'm going to see who's who and who's real, who's serious with me. That's your lesson for tonight. All praise be given to the living Elohim Yahweh. Praise him.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Why? Any questions, contributions?
Yeah, I got a contribution.
Absolutely. Go ahead. I can't get
in this shell of a body that I have. I think it's important to not focus on everybody else and what they're doing or what they're not doing. Even our ancestors, we want to go in the land, but we focus on Caleb, and he made it because, of the type of character he was, but Moses didn't. And he was just as good as, or better than anybody that I have read about in the Torah. So I think it's really, really important that we focus on ourselves and the type of things and try to ask Yah, what is it about us that we need to work on? Show me some of this stuff so that I can be whole, love you with my whole mind, because